Greetings, everyone. This is the Hipster Snek. And because you guys can't seem to get enough, I figured we'd keep on rolling. Now, everyone knows that after Monster Rancher 2, basic mathematical progression means you go from 2 to A2. That's just how math works. So therefore, we're going right into Monster Rancher Advance 2. If you're new to the channel, I don't like Monster Rancher 3, so I'm not playing it. Welcome to the Age Monster Association. Please enter your name. Now, if you're wondering why I'm starting with Advance 2 and not Monster Rancher Advance, there's one simple reason. Monster Rancher Advance 2 is Monster Rancher Advance, just better and more. So my name is, of course, Snek. Like, in some ways, I'm not even kidding. If you've played Advance 2, you actually do a lot of the story beats of Advance 1, just with a different assistant. And I have nothing against Aroma and Zest. I think they're great characters, but Advance 2 is just mechanically the superior game. There's more options, there's more unlocks, there's more to do. So I decided that for the third installment of Monster Rancher Let's Plays, we'll be going into Advance 2. Your name is Snek? It is. Snek. Now you're a real breeder. Congratulations. Because I wasn't one before. Chairman Marduk of AGIMA will be here shortly. Thank you for waiting. Congratulations, Snek. I know things might get tough sometimes. But work hard and raise some good monsters. I'd like to introduce you to your assistant. This is Holly. Hi, I'm Holly. How do you do? You know, Holly, it hasn't been that long since we've seen each other. In fact, you cameoed in the previous game, so it's also that. Holly was a breeder in Fimba until recently. She's talented and popular, top of her class. She'll be your assistant, but your senior, too. This is a lot of the anime pulling influence. Colt does show up in the anime, but only for one episode, whereas Holly is kind of the mainstay, so she kind of ended up becoming the de facto Miss Monster Rancher cameo. You don't have to say that, Mr. Marduk. That's the past. Are you sure? You're a famous breeder. Why wouldn't... No, I've thought about it a lot. I want to start again from scratch. That's why I got involved with AGIMA. Pay no attention to any of that, Snek. I don't know about you, or that Fimba chairman, Mr. Carnab, either. After all your hard training, I don't know if Karn/Carnab being the chairman of Fimba was a thing they had in mind in Monster Rancher the First, but it sure became a thing from Monster Rancher 2 going forward, which really does make you wonder how Fimba ends up adjusting their budget for a truant of a explorer chairman who can't seem to quell his wanderlust no matter how hard he tries. After all your hard training, but oh well. You're lucky to get such a good assistant. Snek, we have high hopes for you. Now, about a ranch for you. I've managed to find you a great location. Thank you very much. I hope you like it. Maybe once you get settled, you could even remodel the barn. We at AGIMA will be behind you all the way. Good luck. Snek, I didn't want to stress you. I hadn't planned on saying anything for a while about the fact I used to be a breeder. Anyway, let's take it one step at a time. Let's go to the shrine to decide on a monster. Well, as you see, our options here are very familiar. So we're going to start off just going to the shrine, and I'll give you guys kind of the lowdown as we go. Hello? Yes, who is it? Nice to meet you. I'm Holly, an assistant, and this is a new rancher, Snek. The pleasure's mine. I'm Bullseye, the supervisor of the Age Shrine. Is this your first monster regeneration? Yes, it is. Not exactly, but yes. No, but yes. How does it work? Allow me to explain. This place is the Monster Shrine of Age. We have all the equipment to create monsters. Let me tell you about ways to regenerate monsters here on Age. In tablet regeneration, you create monsters by using words inscribed on tablets. Wow, I've heard about that tablet regeneration. It's totally different from Fimba and AGIMA's Saucer Stone regeneration. What's that? You're familiar with Fimba's and AGIMA's systems? I used to be with Fimba. The system is actually rather unique. It is entirely unique, except maybe the magic spell, you could argue, is almost the same thing. It was developed by AGIMA, you see, so... Ahem, where was I? Oh yes. According to my experience, different words produce monsters with quite different characteristics. Try many tablets to find a monster you like. Enter any word you like on the tablet, and raise the monster from it. Book regeneration is a way of bringing back monsters you've already created. Start with the tablet method for now. Thank you for the lesson. Let's create a monster. As he says, book is something that Monster Rancher 3 technically pioneered, but who cares, I'm still not playing Monster Rancher 3. The book will let you revive, for free, indefinitely, any monster that you've seen in the past. And the tablet system, well, it should look a little familiar already. Monsters regenerated from tablets with too many characters are dangerous for beginners. You'll receive permission when your breeder rank increases. Until then, you can only use a few characters. You'll start with 4. Please tell me the characters on your tablet. So, as you see here, all these letters and numbers and symbols are ours to play with. We'll start with 4, but you can have as few as 1. Now, generally speaking, the monster is more complex if it has more characters. And if it's over, I want to say 5 or 6 characters are the only passcodes that will unlock monsters that will be species need to be unlocked kind of monsters on down the road. That sentence totally made sense in my head, and I'm sure it made sense after I spoke it out loud. So, there are a few breeds that need to be unlocked. Quite a few, in fact. And so, just to be expeditious about this video, I'm going to jump ahead to when one of our passwords has generated a monster that we have not used in the Let's Plays of the past. I'll see you guys there. I will now regenerate your monster. By special request of my good buddy Clockwork, we're going to be starting this game off with a fairy hair. What a cute monster. Looks like your first monster of this type. Let me put a new page in the book. You take this monster home with you. Yes. Let's give the kid a name. Okay, after a little debate, I decided this fella's name is going to be David. Now, why that name? Because growing up on Nickelodeon, there was a show called David the Gnome. And gnomes kind of fall into that same general classification as fairy-type creatures. Ergo, fairy hair is David. Visit again anytime. Oh yeah, I just remembered. I brought a monster along as a coach. I'd like you to decide what kind of training it should supervise, Snek. You can take care of the details at AGIMA. Do you remember to do that then? Well, let's go ahead and knock that out right now. Thank you for registering with us. I'm glad to have you here with us in Age. We hope you do well. Here, we deal with things like assigning training types to coaches, with contracts, new contracts with coaches, and retirement of monsters, which should generally not ever need to happen. We already have one monster with a contract, so we just want to reassign its training type. No problem, please choose. So, I believe that's charge. You choose what type of training the coach you registered will do. If you don't assign a training type, you won't be able to use that monster as a coach. Coaches can be assigned to as many training types as its coach points allow. These coach points vary for each. What type of training will you assign? I think I remember at one point I said it had something to do with their stats. I don't think that's 100% true. Regardless. Since our first monster is going to be a hare, we're going to want things that accentuate the strengths of a hare. Our first coach is Masamaro, a white mochi. Yes. So, accuracy, power, and speed are going to be the name of the game. Now, while Monster Rancher Advance 2 is generally better about it than a lot of other Monster Rancher games, the trainings are not perfectly comprehensive. So sometimes sacrifices will need to be made in the name of efficiency. Or you'll just want good complementary training that ends up working towards the greater whole. Power and speed has always been one of those things that's kind of difficult to train for, so I'm just kind of working around those limitations. And this. That should do nicely. We can set a monster to become a coach. I believe they have to be over B rank or something, so some experience has to have been put into them. You can retire the monster if you simply don't want it, though this should really only happen if you accidentally hit yes at the shrine and take something you don't want. An explorer we can't do, that's not unlocked just yet, but it'll become available later, and I'll tackle it when it becomes relevant. Look forward to seeing you again. So while we have a moment, let's have a look at him. So, the monster information menu is that series of blocks at the top of the screen. This is the stat breakdown, which is not amazing, but not terrible either. This is his family tree, but since David was straight off from the saucer and has never been actually fused, he technically doesn't have one. It's lonely being David. These are his attacks, which right now are just the two. All attacks break down to far, mid, and long range. The near, mid, and far range, I should say. Now, in Monster Rancher Advance 1, you could set these wherever you wanted, but in this game, that's not how it's going to work. These are okay starting moves, that's not bad. Now, we have some traits. Foresee, anticipate and dodge better, but damages easily. That's exactly what it says in the 10. As dodge rate goes up, damage taken during battle also is up. Dance uses dance, move, power, and dodging ability. I don't know what a dance move is. Well, no, I do, but I associate them with Mogi, not hair. And expert. Gets good at a certain training, but moody if it fails. To this day, I'm not sure if we actually know what this does. If anyone if there's been any new breakthroughs in Monster Rancher Advance 2 research, please tell me what this actually does. And then we have our general breakdown. How many battles, its fame, its body type, what it likes, what it dislikes, and, yeah, everything else. The breeder information doesn't tell us a whole lot, honestly, and since I cannot actually connect to friends, that number will not stay 0, but it won't go up very high. There are some wild monsters that will become your friends, and that's a thing unto itself. We'll get to it when we get to it. Then we have the breakdown of what rank each of our monsters has landed on versus our total monsters raised. That number can be a little deceptive for a number of different reasons, so don't pay too much attention to this. And how many times we've reached champion ranking with what monster. The book is precisely what you think it is, as presently it is only 1 page long. Now, if you're wondering what that weird red icon is, that's its family trait. There's 5 of these, and they become more important from the advanced games going forward. I'm not going to get too far into it, but I talk about it a little bit in my Guide to Monster Rancher videos. Just, if there's any information out there, or if anyone can find that little chart from the Advance 2 instruction booklet that has the breakdown, I would love to get my hands on a copy of that again. I cannot find a scanlation of it, and I cannot find any in-depth mechanical nuance as to what those specifically did. But I'd love to know if there's anything out there that can tell us. Ah, it's your first time here, isn't it? Welcome to the Monster Studio. I'm Kamui. I'm guessing Kamui. Here you can do things like temporarily freeze your monster or combine one with another. Do stop by whenever you want to drop off a monster or pick one up. It's exactly what it was as before, though there was also some of that obligatory GBA communication cable shenanigans, as you could link and fuse monsters together. Obviously, we won't be dealing with that. You can also delete monsters out of frozen storage, though I don't really understand why you would freeze a monster you didn't plan on doing something with. Snek, this is the hospital. You should bring your monster here if you get sick or injured. You can also remove unwanted traits from your monster with surgery. And they'll do free checkups, too. It's great. Some illnesses can only be detected here. Remember that if your monster is behaving oddly. Oh, hello. Hi there. Sorry I wasn't at the reception desk. I'll get a doctor. No, that's okay. It's our first time, so we're just looking. Oh, really? Please, feel free. Thanks. Just ask if you'd like to have a checkup. So, your options are a checkup, which is what medical means, or an operation. Now, for a breakdown, you can remove unwanted traits, but bear in mind that certain unwanted traits come due to circumstances beyond your control. Things like glutton, which appears in many baby monsters, nearsighted and farsighted, which start happening in older monsters, you can remove them, but a week or two later they'll be back. So it's a waste of time and money. Like to have a checkup? Okay, please go on through. No problem. Perfect health. Try to keep it up. Generally speaking, there won't be too many instances where you'll need to, but if your monster gets KO'd during a battle, or you come back from, say, an expedition or something that puts a lot of fatigue on them, it doesn't hurt to stop by and check just to be certain. Now, another random fun factoid is the lady in the pink dress has a name. Her name is Talt. And she shows up again in Monster Rancher 4, and for some reason, despite very obviously being a woman, is repeatedly referred to as a he. I don't know why. There's also the square. Instead of waiting for the builder to come to us, we can go to him. There's a builder here I've known for ages. I was so surprised when I saw him here. We've been asking the builder to repair barns. But I wonder where he went. Bent. Oh, Holly, what's up? Yeah, he should be familiar, and he was called Binto in Monster Rancher 2. He's just called Bint here for some reason. I don't know why. Anyone knows the reasoning for this translation, please let me know. Who we've got with you? Bint, this is Snek, who I'm helping out as an assistant. This is Bint, a builder I've known for ages. You've said that, Holly. He works fast and really well. Nice to meet you. Oh, you want to rebuild? How'd you like it? Well, what would that cost, anyway? Under a medium-sized barn? Double my life savings. So, maybe next time, buddy. Think you want to stop? Well, just let me know when you're ready. This is one of my favorite features of Monster Rancher Advance 2, is a lot less hinges on you just being at the ranch at a certain time of the year. Things like Expedition and expanding your barn are things that you can trigger manually, and you don't actually need to just wait for the event to come to you. Randomly, you can encounter merchants here at the town square, and there's one in particular we'll want to do, as it's a monster species unlock. But we'll get to that when we get to that. System is as it's always been, and ranch takes us on home. Wow, what a great place. We should be able to train David just fine here. It'll be hard work, but let's keep at it. Hello. Yes? I'm the mail carrier. This next ranch is this address, right? Yes, that's right. You're Holly, aren't you? Welcome to Age. I'm Ayase. I'm a great fan of yours. Thank you. I'm going to be Snek's assistant here for a while. Snek, I'll be rooting for you from now on. I'll tell you if I hear anything useful. Yes, a little tip from mail carrier. Please accept all the invitations and notices when they arrive. You miss important events. Thank you very much. So, as said, David has some pretty solid stat distribution. We're going to do some basic training, as there are 6 basic trainings, and then there's the ones that are coached. If you don't have a coach in the slot, you can't do it. Don't ask me why this is a thing, it's a thing. These animations are usually pretty brisk, but you can also skip them just by tapping the B button. David didn't do it right. Sold it? Yes. Seems sorry. David looks pretty lively. So we're going to try that again. We're going to skip the animation. No, not B button, A button. Powering up by 5. David seems to be a little tired. I'll worry about never tired methods when I have the money to actually fund them. And I would actually say it's probably less important in the advanced games. Because people often ask me, what's a good entry point into the series? And my answer is probably Monster Rancher Advance 2. It has the experience most like the PlayStation 1 games. but at the same time, it does things its own way and makes things way more convenient for the player. There are very important things about feeding your monster. It's all about how full you can feed it. When you train it while it's hungry, the monster will be worn out. This is kind of a weird way of explaining that feeding, is good for your monster. When you're raising the monster carefully, you must choose a food that makes it full. But if you overfeed some types of food, your monster will get too fat or thin. If the monster gets too fat, it can easily get tired, and if it gets too thin, it can be really stressful. So try to feed your monster a variety. Let's refeed David this month. So, as I recall, the way food as a mechanic worked from here going forward changed a lot. I don't think there's any option that is inherently bad, but one of the things that Monster Rancher Advance 2 that's a little strange is they'll use terms like fairly filling. What does that mean? I don't know. You just kind of have to take them at their word. Fresh and delicious, satisfying. Nutritious and satisfying, but don't overfeed. Great for diets, only marginally filling. Great crunchy texture, not very filling. So really, what you're trying to do is balance how filling it is versus how much your monster ultimately likes it. Delicious monster snack, not filling at all. Tropical fruit, popular because it's satisfying. Smooth and filling, many monsters like it. Great for diet, suppresses appetite. Great for monsters with no discipline. Yes, you actually now have the option to send your monster to the barn without dinner. Generally, I find that's largely unnecessary unless your monster has severe attitude problem. Now, most baby monsters respond very positively to milk. Eat up now, David. Looks happy wasn't such a good idea. Yeah, Holly's kind of weird about her response to that, so you can largely ignore her input there. David seems to be in good shape. So, once again, reliance instead of loyalty, but I guess it's the same basic idea. Once again, it's all coming together. Hello, anyone there? Coming. Oh, Holly, it's Aroma. Long time no see. Aroma, how long has it been? Good to see you. Mr. Marduk told me what you've been up to. Can't believe you're an assistant. You came all the way from AGIMA from Fimba. Yeah, well, it's what I wanted to do. I've been working here for a while. Well, good luck. Snek, right? I'm Aroma. Oh yeah, my brother Zest is here too. Don't make me sound like an afterthought. Hi again, Holly. Nice to meet you, Snek. I get the feeling that I'd get along well with Zest. Now that your ranch is so famous, there's no way we can catch up. I hope you'll teach me plenty. Of course, please. Don't make me blush. Now, Roma, Holly has much more experience. Come on, I know that. By the way, Holly, this new fighting style, it's all the rage now in Age. All the rage? A fighting style? Yep, it's called countering. Do you know it? Technically I do, but I'm gonna say no so she can explain it, so I don't have to. It's not just fighting back? No, it's not just that. It's risky, but you can do a lot of damage. You have no idea how right you are on both counts. When you're attacked, a counter will do a lot of damage if you're lucky. But if you fail, you'll be the one hurting. With a 25% rate of success, I'd only use it if it were really desperate. I'll teach you, it could help in a pinch. Great, Aroma, thanks. In battle, press B button to enter pre-counter mode. Pressing one of the 4 directions after that will put you in counter mode. That's it? That's it. If you're attacked during this mode, you'll counter automatically. Success depends on what you do after you hit B button. It's tied to which direction you press. But if you decide to attack during this time, counter mode will be cancelled, and you'll have to enter it all over again. Watch out, you can't counter for a while after you cancel counter mode. Also, in counter, you can't finish them off, so be careful. They'll always be left with 1 HP, but later games change that. If the counter fails, we take a big damage hit, huh? Guess we'd better be careful. Thanks, Aroma. My pleasure. Snek, Holly, I'd like to, what? I brought my monster. Let's fight. It's time you try that counter mode. What? Right now? Come on, she doesn't want to. I'm sorry, Snek. Oh, don't worry, I'll go easy on you, okay? Here we go! What? Yep. And now, you get to see firsthand how Monster Rancher Advance 2 handles things like stress and fatigue. Because David is tired, and because Aroma is a total witch, she just kind of attacks us for no good reason. because David is exhausted, all of his stats take a penalty. Notice how he has like 1 defense right now because of it. The more severe the fatigue, the worse it is. Monster Rancher 4 will actually take this one step further, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I have a fight to lose. So, countering is kind of a dumb mechanic, and I've really never gotten it to work in any meaningful way. You press B, the icon changes color, and then you push a direction on the control pad. And then generally nothing happens because I've never seen it work, on the player's behalf at least. And this guy has such low loyalty, he's like not even trying. Oh yeah, if we can do that about 100 times more, we might actually win. That's a new species of monster, by the way, Antland, which was introduced in the advanced games. He's actually one of my favorite monsters in the franchise. Maybe I can at least stop him from knocking me out. I don't think this fight in particular has any incurred penalties, as I think the game kind of knows you're going to lose this no matter what. And I don't think there's any check that would make a counter automatic here anyway, so who cares? That was great. You shouldn't do that to people all of a sudden. Your monster's so strong even though you just started raising it. I can't wait to fight you in a tournament. Yeah. Sorry about that, really. No, it's okay, our monster learned a lot. He learned that you're a jerk, Aroma. See you later. Bye. I remember when I used to be reckless too. Let's work hard to catch up to them, Snek. Yeah, I imagine he is. So, David has a little bit of time on his hands before he becomes a fully viable battle monster. He's coming along nicely. It's really not terrible, and once his reliance is a little bit higher, I'll probably start using the heavier training to really get him going. That said, there's a few things that I guess I should mention ahead of time, and as I mentioned earlier, Monster Rancher Advance 2 is a great starting point for people who have never actually played the franchise before. The reasoning for this is, well, one, monsters tend to live longer, on the whole. Second, the cash rewards for tournaments is a bit higher. Like around the A or S rank, I think it's about the same, but the lower tournaments, I think from probably B on down, looks like they got bumped up by, I would guess, 20 or 30% each. So money's a bit more forthcoming. The training options are a bit more robust thanks to the coach system, which really also gives you another option for something you can do with monsters who are nearing retirement age. And I'm really glad that this was something that they came up with, and I think it's something that if there is a hypothetical Monster Rancher 6, needs to be strongly considered. The coach system lets you get benefit from your previous monsters by having their stats impact the training that they oversee. Masamaro has 300 in every single stat, so he's going to be roughly, well, I'll just be honest, he's mediocre in everything, but that's how you start the game. You're going to start off mediocre in everything, and the passive items in Monster Rancher Advance are actually much more potent than the passive items of the past games. You'll actually get a lot more mileage out of the cup, incense, and stone items than you do out of things like, say, the Dino Tail. I'm not going to break down the mechanical nuances of that too much right this second, but the important thing to remember is you have a lot more options. Speaking of items, let's go say hi to the shopkeep. You're new here, I'm Crow, I'm the owner. I'm proud of the variety in the store. It's nice meeting you. Now, Oily Oil, which somehow has a more redundant name, is the fatigue reducer. And there's actually 3 stress reduction items. The Nitro Berry, the Mint Leaf, and the Mint Candy. Generally speaking, Mint Candy is the way you want to go, as it is the most potent of those items. And there's also things like The roasted newt, which I actually forget what that does. That might be the replacement for the roasted snake. Gelatin, I think this is an item that monsters can ask for. Diet weed helps make monsters be on the trim side. Cake, I think, helps plump them up. Has a meat slab, I believe. And some of these are just items that your monster can ask for. I don't think there's actually a whole lot of mechanical nuance. These are passive items that reduce stress, fatigue, and increases the potency of sleep. And there's also the wind flute and the wind drum, which increases the rate at which loyalty is gained. So you're going to start off weaker, but you're going to get a lot of stuff that's going to make future monsters that much more powerful. And like I said, monsters tend to live longer, so if you make a whole bunch of mistakes, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, see, Glutton. We lost the dance ability. That's strange. Sometimes that happens. It's not a big deal. Glutton is basically baby fat. That will melt off when they get to a year old or so. So don't worry about it. Anyway, that's the basic breakdown. The only big exception is Sparring, which takes the place of Errantry. Sparring is done in combat format, where you can battle against either an AGIMA coach or one of your own coaches, depending on what training they're assigned to. If you fight against your own coach, you get a 20% discount, in addition to the monthly sales that happen as we've seen before. In fact, let's just go ahead and knock that out. Welcome to the AGIMA Sparring Facilities. Is this your first time here? Yes. What kinds of things can you do here? Well, let me explain. The facilities here are for sparring. AGIMA itself runs and manages the facilities. Sparring is done in a real battle format. By sparring with a coach from your ranch, you can build up your monster much faster than with normal ranch training. When there is no contracted coach on your ranch, or when you want to spar with someone besides one of your own coaches, we have prepared instructors tailored to the level of your monster in each of our courses. Monster stats improve even when it doesn't win, but extra improvement may be seen depending on its performance. Use of the facilities is 3,000 gold, but it's 20% off if you use one of your own coaches. We also have sales, so watch for them. Please know that sparring takes 1 month. Please choose from the available courses. Once again, power, intelligence, technique, which is just skill, speed, and defense. Because all of them raise life, and you still have a chance of getting new attacks from them, though they don't take the time out to tell you that. Now that we've covered all the introductory stuff, I'm going to go ahead and get to raising David, and we're going to get this show on the road. Join me in the next episode, where there'll be more monster goodness awaiting you, and I'll see you there.